So, what are your general opinions on the media? And by media, we mean like broadcast news, traditional newspapers.
I think that you can find out a lot of interesting things through independent newspapers and like things that you wouldn't see on TV or they try to censor everything when it comes to like the mainstream, obviously. So like I know whenever I read like JP Times or like different things like in different neighborhoods, you learn about things that happened that you had no idea that happened in Boston if you were to watch, say, Fox 25 News. So I think it all depends on the media that you're using as your resource.
So, you're more interested in hyper local newspapers?
Yeah, I like to actually know what's actually going on. You know what I mean? Rather than not know. It's good because you can find out a lot of useful information and feel like what's going on in the actual communities, get a better sense of it.
So, what do you think of then larger news stations that not like a local Fox, but a national Fox or national MSNBC, CNN?
I think it all varies. Obviously, different news stations lean towards different things that they like to stress, whether it's right wing or left wing, and that definitely affects. Even if it's like a news story that everyone's gonna cover, they still have a different skew of it and how they're gonna present it to you. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it all kind of people. I feel like tend to watch what they want to hear and what caters to them and like their lifestyle. So, if you're one way, you're gonna watch MSNBC. If you're another way, you're gonna watch CNN. You know what I mean? So it all depends who you kind of seek trust in.
Since you think these stations have biases, what do you think that does to the news? Do you think it makes it less truthful, I suppose? Do you think it, I don't know.
It's not less truthful, but it's more, it's kind of like people, the way they relate to the way the broadcasters address them. Like people have their favorites, like they like a station, but they also just like the person who's telling them the news. So they like kind of build this relationship through the TV. So it's kind of just like a trust thing. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily. It's not like that they're hearing untrue facts, but it's obviously like the way that it's presented through like mannerisms or through like dialect. You know what I mean? So I feel like people like relate to that. They want to hear someone who like is similar to them or seems like it's similar to them. So it's not that like I feel like they're lying in different ends of it. Like Fox isn't necessarily lying if something happened that CNN covers, but it's just the way that's brought to people. You know what I mean? So.
What do you think about Twitter, Facebook, other social networking? What do you think about its effect on the current media, like old medias in particular?
I think it's a good effect. It has good and bad usage points. It's very good to inform people, you know what I mean, through different things like Facebook and Twitter. I think there's maybe a little more truth in that because it's more real time. It's more like something that's actually happening. Somebody like can update their Twitter and be like, oh, this just happened. And there's no way you can kind of like funnel that out or weed that out. That's what happened, So it's like I think it has a pretty positive effect on getting the most latest real things that are going on.
What's your preference for getting news? Internet, newspapers, television?
Probably internet. Definitely like different blogs or forums from different neighborhoods that I live in. Because I mean, you can get more of a real raw version of things from people that actually live there. Like for example, when I lived in Jamaica Plain, there was like a series of like muggings going on that I had no idea about the neighborhood I lived in. From like even just reading, like the Globe or any of that kind of stuff. But after going on these forums online and like hearing actual people that have posted like what happened to them and like what to look out for and like all that stuff, like that was really beneficial to my residency in that area. So I find internet's probably the most, and obviously it's the most convenient too. I mean, everyone has internet now. It's quick. It's updated. It's frequent. Not that picking up a newspaper is bad. It's not bad, but for me personally, I prefer finding it online.
Do you have a phone number or email that we could contact you with?
908?
I actually didn't need to record that. Are we done with questions, though?
I think so.
Alrighty.